Crimson is an exotic burst hand cannon, an archetype that's unique to its own. It mimics similar damage output of a 110 RPM hand cannon per shot, however spreads it across 3 bullets in a burst. Crimson got a massive time to kill buff with the release of Shadowkeep, but at the same time, because of the hand cannon changes, it has also seen some nerfs to its range. As a result of this, so far I've seen some pretty mixed reviews among different people, whether they like it or not, but in my opinion, I think Crimson is a top tier hand cannon and has made its mark in my loadouts as a go-to weapon, and probably my go-to hand cannon now. I know some people might classify this as a pulse, but I call it as it's classified in-game, which is a hand cannon. I also refer to it as a hand cannon still because, again, it mimics the damage of a 110 hand cannon and has the same zoom as a hand cannon. So, to me, it's a hand cannon. Crimson is classified as the highest range hand cannon in the game, with a range stat of 93 with its Masterwork Catalyst applied. Sure, it might not have the range it once did, as the same could be said for any hand cannon currently because of the range nerfs, but it still is a top performer at range because of the damage buffs and its high range stat. Let's start by taking a look at its time to kill though. It's got a 0.87 optimal time to kill with 6 crit and 1 body shot, and a 1.43 second base time to kill taking 11 body shots. In a more average type scenario, if you were to only hit 3 headshots, which is still rather low, you can get a 1.15 second more average time to kill in 3 crit 6 body. The important thing here is that with the changes, Crimson now kills on the first bullet of the killing burst. So if you miss the first bullet of the killing burst, you have 2 follow-ups before you take a really big hit to your time to kill, waiting for the cadence once the burst is finished to fire the next burst or the following burst, which would be your 4th burst. The time to kill shifts from 0.87 seconds to 1.01 seconds if you have 1 bullet missed, and then 1.15 seconds if you happen to miss 2 bullets and kill on the very last bullet of the 3rd burst. So although you do have to keep your crosshairs on the target for a longer duration than a traditional hand cannon, where it's more of a tracking weapon than a flick weapon, in some ways because of this it's a little bit more forgiving. But honestly, it's a double-edged sword. The average time to kill is in line with, or slightly better actually, than the lightweight 150 RPM hand cannons, and its body shot time to kill is better than both of the 150 and 140 RPM hand cannons. As part of the characteristic of being a burst hand cannon, Crimson has a longer burst duration for its 3 bullets per burst than a normal pulse rifle by comparison. Crimson has a burst duration of 0.13 seconds, which is longer than an average pulse's 3 burst, which is 0.10 seconds. However, an aggressive 4 burst pulse has a 0.13 second burst as well, but of course has more bullets dispersed across that. Vigilant Swing and its 5 burst is actually a 0.16 second burst duration. So as I said, Crimson has a longer burst duration than the average pulse, but the same as the aggressive 4 burst pulses, but only of course fires those 3 bullets per burst, meaning there is more time in between each bullet of Crimson's burst than an average pulse rifle, so more emphasis on needing to stay on target and tracking for a longer period of time than you would even find on a traditional pulse rifle. Let's now take a look at Crimson's performance at range though. The damage drop off for this weapon starts at around 27 meters, and it maintains its optimal time to kill of 7 bullets until 29 meters. Now there's something important here to take into account when looking at range, which I don't think I've seen many others take too much of a look at, and it's your time to kill shift, where it happens and how long it punishes your time to kill by. For example, the traditional 150 RPM hand cannons have an optimal time to kill of 0.8 seconds. However, outside of their 3 tapping range, immediately jump to a 1.2 second time to kill, taking 4 shots. That's a pretty punishing jump, whereas weapons with a faster rate of fire or more consistent damage output would actually have less punishing results, leaving their optimal time to kill range, where they would experience damage drop off that forces a time to kill shift with an extra bullet or so. So that's how we're really going to be taking a look at Crimson's ranges here and comparing it to traditional hand cannons that it would compete with. As I said, Crimson's damage drop off starts at 27 meters but maintains its optimal time to kill up until 29 meters. That means you're still getting a 0.87 second time to kill with Crimson up until 29 meters. However, However, at 30 meters, you're going to see your first time to kill shift where you're going to need 1 extra bullet to kill, which gives you a 1.01 second time to kill. Your second time to kill shift is going to be at 32 meters, so 2 meters later, taking an additional 2 bullets from your optimal time to kill, giving you a time to kill of 1.15 seconds. 34 meters is where the third time to kill shift happens with Crimson, needing 3 additional bullets to kill from your optimal time to kill, which would give you a 1.3 second time to kill at that range. So Crimson actually maintains a better time to kill than most hand cannons at similar ranges. For example, Ace of Spades becomes a 4-shot 1.3 second time to kill at 30 meters versus Crimson's 1.01 second time to kill at that same range. Spare Rations with Rangefinder and some good range becomes a 4-shot at roughly 31 meters with a 1.2 second time to kill versus again Crimson's 1.01 second time to kill at that same range. Ostringer with Rangefinder and all the range perks does give Crimson a hard time at a lot of ranges, but does still become a 4-shot at 33 meters for a 1.3 second time to kill. And at that range, Crimson can kill in 1.15 seconds, which is still plenty competitive. The Better Devils with max range, rangefinder, and explosive rounds, as well as the Not Forgotten utilizing the range glitch, are 2 of the only hand cannons that I know can compete with a better TTK or better 3-tap range than Crimson at those extended ranges. Of course, like I mentioned though, it is a double-edged sword. You can always make the argument that with a traditional hand cannon, you have more opportunity to play cover and need less time on target and less shots needed to be landed overall to actually get your kill. With Crimson though, you could argue that it has less recoil overall, it's less affected and less punishing for missing a shot or being outside of its optimal range, and on top of it you do have the health regen ability as well. There's definitely a two-sided debate where with Crimson you could say at least you still get to deal partial damage if you happen to miss an initial shot of a burst per se, whereas with a hand cannon you would miss that whole shot and instantly get a pretty punished TTK. However, with traditional hand cannons, you could argue, well, you only have to hit 4 shots or 3 shots, and that's less shots overall to hit and less time on target necessary. So there's a lot of good things going for Crimson. I definitely don't think you'd shoot with it or maybe even use it in a similar way as a traditional hand cannon. However, it does a very good job of competing with those hand cannons, which I think is great and makes it pretty top tier in my books. High damage output, excellent range performance, and the ability to heal yourself and kill definitely solidifies Crimson as a top weapon for me and a go-to weapon in my loadouts. Anyways, those are my thoughts on Crimson. Again, I think it's a top tier weapon and I've had a blast using it pretty frequently. Let me know your thoughts below. I'd love to hear if you're liking Crimson right now or maybe not so much. Also, if you'd like to see more content like this, guys, I do stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/Drewskys. You can see the link in the description. Check me out if you'd like. I hope to see you there. But if not, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.